In 2008, you had the Mexican Congress pass a bill decriminalizing undocumented immigration to Mexico. President Bush tried to pass the comprehensive immigration bill, but the U.S. Senate rejected it. What do you think should be done with the issue of illegal immigrants in the United States, since it affects both countries?
It is difficult, and I know this is a very sensitive issue here in the society. But let me tell you that there are good news for everyone. And I don't want to intervene in domestic politics here, but no. The good news are that according to the Pew Institute, net immigration of Mexican workers to the United States, which reached in the past rates probably the 8 or 9% a year, reached zero rate in 2010 and repeated in 2011. And probably this year will be the same. So,
what's the reason for that? Is it just the economy in the U.S. being weak? Why do you think the rate was?
There are good reasons and bad reasons. Okay. Let me start with the bad reason. One bad reason is the economic recession. Another bad reason could be, well, bad reason for our people is some actions in Border Patrol, for instance. There are some incidents very, very sad. For instance, 2 weeks ago, there was a picnic in the Mexican side, and the American agents shot to migrants in the river. However, one of the shots reached the father of that family, and he died. There are several incidents like this during the year. But we can see that there is, of course, as you know, more enforcement in the border, and that is another reason. Another bad reason for us is probably, frankly speaking, probably the people are afraid of the criminals in the border. But the good reasons are there, and those are, for instance, this idea that Mexico is providing public services for all in several fields. If you make an opinion poll in Mexico asking about what could be the 5 most important problems you have, you cannot see health problem. Fortunately, we are fixing that. So we are providing health services, we are providing school and universities for kids, we are providing jobs. Finally, Mexico is creating 700,000 formal jobs a year, which is probably among the highest numbers ever. So, as Katie was saying, our economy expanded 16%. Since the second semester of 2009, the Mexican economy has grown 13 quarters in a row. Even today appeared the data for July, and the economic growth for July was 4.7, which is higher than was expected. So those are the good reasons. The Mexican economy is growing, there are more opportunities, and there are, of course, bad reasons as well.
What do you think the 20 million supposedly illegal aliens in the U.S., what do you think the U.S. government should do, since President Bush tried to do some innovative things, but unfortunately it did not get through the Congress? What would you recommend, since it's an issue that affects, again, both countries, and it's very important?
With all respect for the American politics and opinions, I do believe in the comprehensive immigration reform. And I think that it is important to understand that it's very important to understand that this is some kind of economic phenomenon. If you analyze any textbook case, a microeconomic textbook, you will see that there are 2 factors for growth. One factor is capital, other factor is labor, and factor of labor and factor of capital need each other like the left shoe and the right shoe. And we have 2 economies. One is a big economy, capital abundant, and the other is a small economy, labor abundant. We are neighbor and we share 3,000 kilometers. It is impossible to avoid the natural integration of those factors. Of course, I do prefer American capital going towards Mexico, instead Mexican workers coming to the United States. And I'm working really hard in order to provide opportunities in Mexico in order that no one Mexican needs to cross the border for hungry or other reasons, different from any option. Now, meanwhile, there are a lot of people serving the American society, serving the older people here, fixing gardens and so on, providing, paying taxes, and probably they deserve an opportunity to clarify that situation.